Time for another video, the latest pssd video. The latest pssd. And I think we are really onto something. I think we might have found the solution to pssd for complete restoration and recovery. Oh my god. First of all, there's this thing, the two substances. This is like this study that was done on rats. We've got the website, it's at drugs-forum.com. In the detail, we have the URL here saved on the computer. So it's the URL, we have that. So this basically says we can conclude that repeated administration of AMA, which is amantadine, given with IMI, which is imipramine, induces or makes happen the upregulation of dopamine D2 and D3 receptors in the brain. So it creates the upregulation of the dopamine receptors. Our dopamine receptors are messed up, they don't work. So upregulate the dopamine until it's working again. Bam, dude, oh my god. And it also says, so it says it in this one line here, this is some kind of scientific study thing here. So it's a scientific study done here. Effect of combined treatment with imipramine and amantadine on the central dopamine D2 and D3 receptors. Okay. And then it says further down also the effect of the combined treatment of imipramine and amantadine also upregulates the serotonin, what they call serotonin. So basically these two chemicals or whatever, what they're saying, imipramine and amantadine, this is what stimulates and upregulates the dopamine receptors, so restoring sensitivity. Here's the question now. Is this permanent effect or is this temporary effect? Does it upregulate the dopamine receptors for a little while, right? Does it make it for a little bit, upregulating for a time? Or does it resensitize it so where it's resensitized? And that's permanent, resensitized. So that's the question I would like to ask here. So maybe if we can find some way to contact the person that did the study and ask him questions, maybe that's a good idea. I think it's definitely a good idea, but it also says in this, you can click it here, you can click the thing, not in the JPEG image, but on the web page, you can click it and read all the information about it. And it says the actual dosage per kilogram or whatever, or per gram of body. Like if you weigh 200 pounds, 200 kilograms or whatever, it says how much dosage per gram of your body weight. So that makes sense. That tells you how much of a dosage of these things you need. So basically that tells us all that we need. Get a hold of the stuff and we should be good to go. Be careful of any side effects, anything like that, but start taking it and hopefully it's going to resensitize it. And that's it, dude. We're back in business, man. My God, this is a big fucking deal, dude. Okay, so that's that one. That's the one, number one. So let's close this one out here. Okay, and then the other one, the other thing is this thing here. I already made a video on this one earlier, and I'm going to pull up the video here now. This stuff is called phenethylamine. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to make a small video here about the latest finding here. I just did search on the internet for I think I searched for chemical sex trigger. Okay, and I came across something here which makes sense to me. This thing, look, phenethylamine. Okay, this is the stuff. Okay, so basically it says phenethylamine. This is the stuff this is the whatever natural chemical procedure that releases the dopamine in the brain. So okay, that's interesting. Phenethylamine, what it does, phenethylamine triggers the release of dopamine in the pleasure centers of the brain. This chemical is released during sex and peaks at orgasm. Curiously, it is also one of the chemicals found in chocolate. How it makes you feel: you are overwhelmed with feelings of bliss, attraction, excitement. The phenethylamine. The spelling is right there. Phen-Y-L-E, thylamine. Phenethylamine. So that makes sense. This triggers the release of dopamine in the pleasure centers of the brain. And it seems like that's exactly what happened with me, because, nothing working for a long time, but then all of a sudden, for about 2 days, was triggering something like, oh my God, it was working like crazy for 2 or 3 days, but not a little bit or working a little bit. It was like something bothering me. I was just walking and something in my pants just bothering me, or just at home and this is bothering me, and then it's working like crazy. So something triggers. So maybe this is what it is. Phenylethylamine triggers. See, triggers the release of dopamine in the pleasure centers of the brain. So we need more phenylethylamine. So if we can again, it's supplement or whatever, a way to get this and put this inside of us and see what it does. I think maybe that is the solution. I don't know. Makes sense to me. It's logical. So something that's logical is making sense. Logical. Okay, so there we have the two ideas. I think this is really good stuff. It may even restore us to the way we were before. The other one, the first idea here, is resensitizing. And this one apparently is what triggers the whole effect. And that makes sense also because what was happening, like I just described, I had the periods, 3 different periods in the year 2020. 2011, one is September 2011, February 20th, 2012, and March 15, 2012. I don't know why, but for some reason, for about 2 to 3 days, at those 3 times, it took about 2 to 3 days long. It was just going crazy. I was having sex for 2 days long. 2 days long. So something was triggering, and it was just going crazy. And then again, nothing for months and months and months, and then now it's been about a year. So it's something very weird is going on, obviously, but I think this is interesting. The trigger, this is what triggers it. So if we study this, we can do that, obviously. And the first one that we discussed here is these two chemicals which apparently restore the dopamine, resensitize the dopamine. If we could resensitize that, dude, we're back in business. And if it's permanent, we make it permanent. That would be incredible. That's it.